Hey there guys, what's up? It's your buddy mikeyperion here, and let's have another wonderful day here in the tazzcraft server, and I hope you're having a great day because we are going to have an awesome day together for this episode, and I hope you're gonna like our new intro segment. Well, not for me as of the moment because I'm just barely recording this, right? But later on, of course, I'm gonna try to do some fancy video editing just to make our videos even better. Well, like I promised during the last episode, we are going to make our videos even better. If you like this intro segment, please leave a comment down below. Well, if you don't like it, please leave some nice suggestions. I would totally appreciate them. I will still love them no matter what, and I promise you that, right? Well, let's get started. So now, well, I'm just gathering some of these birch tree leaves because we are going to use this on the second project that we are going to have for this episode. So basically, we are going to have two projects for this episode. Actually, two tunnels. Well, one is a sea tunnel, and another one, of course, we have to finish our nether tunnel. Well, first off, we are going to build a home for our horses, which is basically a stable, right? Well, it's not gonna be an ordinary stable because we are going to build it under the sea, adjacent to our base of operations. Of course, we want some challenges in our builds, that's why we are going to build it under the sea. Well, I think it's not really hard for us for now. Well, of course, well, aside from that, I also wanted to decorate that area with some corals. So after this, I'm going straight to the coral reef biome nearby just to gather some sea pickles as well as, of course, some corals, and we are going to transfer those corals in our base of operations, adjacent to our base of operations, because those sea cups are getting old and pretty boring now, right? So somehow we have to make something interesting in the surrounding areas. Of course, we have to make it nicer, we have to make it better, and of course, well, somehow it's kind of comfortable to look at, right? But anyway, so on the second part of this episode, we are going to finish working on our nether tunnel. Of course, well, Astro and I did a live stream. Well, it's actually Astro's live stream. Well, we worked in the nether for our nether tunnels because we are the two bases near to the camp CPL. So basically, we just need to connect to the camp CPLs, and later on, we are going to connect from camp CPLs to the spawn hub. Well, that's our project in the future, of course, but for this episode, we are only going to focus in our segment or on our own segments going to the camp CPLs. Of course, well, I also had some change of plans. Well, our original plan is to have something like an ice and fire team, but I already have consulted with Astro that I'm going to have a different theme. Well, I decided to have something like a forest theme. That's why I'm gathering these leaves right over here. Of course, we are going to use this later, but of course, well, we still have tons of projects to do for later on, and that's for you to find us. So stay tuned, guys, and watch out for the results of our builds. Going straight here in the coral reef biome, and I totally forget to bring an extra shelter for these corals, but I hope we can gather enough, and I think anyhow we can still go back here because this is not too far from our base, and I guess there's a closer coral reef biome but a smaller one near our base. Well, I guess it's not a problem anymore, right? Gotta get these squids, and I gotta get these squids because I'm totally addicted on killing the squids because we still don't have any squid farm, and I think we won't be able to because on the location of our base. Well, better much do it now, right? I totally forgot that I did some upgrades on our tools, like for example this axe, I added some silk touch and as well as efficiency 5, and as well as for our shovel, I added efficiency 5 on it, and for our bow, well, now we got our mending bow. Well, of course, we already got our hostile mob farm, so at least we already have enough supplies of our arrows. So well, so now it's time to go back home. I guess we have gathered enough. Well, just in case we ran out of these corals, we can easily go back here or in the other coral reef biome that we have near in our base. And finally, we're back home, and as you can see, our masterpiece right over there, that twin tower, of course. Well, I also have added some of these foliages in our roundabout here in the center of the city, and yes, well, these guys will also have their home later on. That's what we are going to work on for the first part of this episode, and as well, I also have transferred these temporary doors right over here. So and I also have added some more so these villagers can breed some more villagers, and I hope we can find some villagers with some good traits, right? And also I have I've added these palm trees right over here, like the one in Beverly Hills. Well, it looks nice, right? Especially with these towers right over here. It really complements on the vibe of here in the city. Of course, I know we have a cyberpunk theme in the city, but of course, well, I think the direction of the future is going to be eco-friendly because, well, some of our people are totally advocate of the nature. Of course, most of the establishments or most of the cities are trying to make it sustainable. I mean, they're cities, and most likely they will have also those sort of like gardens, right? Anyway, so for this episode, we are going to start building on this area right over here. This is where we are going to put our stable for our horses, and basically we are also going to put a tunnel linking to the surface right over there. That's why this project is going to be like a sea tunnel project. And yeah, I totally forgot about this coffee bean or this coffee farm. Well, of course, let's get started. I'm just gonna prep up our stuff and I'll be back. I stood away from my game for a couple of minutes and Ziggy left a sign right over here. Well, hi man, hi there. Well, yeah, he's a one sneaky person. Well, I guess it's fine, of course. So now let's start with our build. So first thing that we have to do is we have to go through this hill right over here. Of course, let's guard this area on this part so at least the water will not go all around our base. So let's poke a hole right over here. And of course, we have to go through to this hill because on the other side of this hill is something like an opening or something like small trench that where we can build our stable on the other side. So basically we have to do some tunneling works on this part right over here, and we have to go through the other side. So now we have went through under this hill through a tunnel. Well, basically this is going to be the area of our stable, which is a nice location, I think, because we can at least enclose it with the cliffs on the side. Well, we just need to clear this out, and yes, well, let's start digging again and I'll be back. Looking good so far, so at least we have a nice shape of it. Well, I think I like this one. So now it's time to place some glass and also to clear out the waters inside. Well, after this, we also need to somehow contour the place and make some spaces for our stable, and yes, let's do it. And sponges, we finally meet again. Of course, seems like an endless series of these water clearing operations, but it's fine because this is a smaller space compared to what we have done previously. So, well, I guess this will just be quick. Well, this is a pretty tight place, right? But I guess it's fine because this is just a place for our horses. So I guess, well, this is okay, right? So now we're done with the walls and the glass roofs. Well, it's pretty plain, but I guess its simplicity works the best, right? So now it's time to place a fence gate on this part right over here. So basically this is going to be the fence for our horses. Well, basically a regular fence gate won't do because horses cannot go through those single fence gates. So basically, well, I guess we are going to have some simple redstone contraptions like right over here in order to do the job. So let's place a lever over here that will trigger that sticky piston that we have placed earlier. And now it's time to place some slime blocks in order to hold the fence that we are going to put on the top of this slime box like over here. So basically this is the redstone part. So well, this is pretty working well. It's a very easy redstone contraption. So now it's time to enclose this with some immovable blocks. So basically we can use furnaces and these obsidian. So these hidden spots or these hidden blocks, I'm just gonna use some obsidian, and on those visible parts we can use these furnaces. Well, somehow this obsidian doesn't really match the design inside this table, so that's why I use these furnaces. And yes, I guess this is now done. At least one fence gate is already done, but we also need to do more of this. So we have 9 pens on this room right over here that will cater 9 horses. Well, and there are some skellies around, but yeah, let me deal with that later. So let's continue building this. Well, we're now actually done with the stable, so let me show you guys what we have accomplished so far. Well, I'm just gonna put this chest so at least we can have an easy drop for the items that we have brought here. So basically this is how it looks like. So well, it looks pretty neat, right? And there are so much lime green color in this room, but I guess it's fine. I mean, I like greens, right? So let's place some storage chests right over here, so at least whenever we got back from some exploration or some sort of like resource gathering, we can easily leave some items right over there. So now it's time to work on the actual sea tunnel. So basically we are going to this direction right over here, going to the surface. So somehow it will be on a curve formation in order to go to that direction right over there. So well, so far here's how it looks like on the outside. Well, later on, of course, we are also going to make like a coral reef on the seabed right over here, because these sea kelps are totally not really that good. And there's like a trench right over here. Yeah, I think I've been here because there are torches there. So well, basically, I'm planning to put up the road maybe on this side right over here, somewhere here, so it will go through this land right over here. So, well, let's start laying out the road going up here, and I'll be back. So far, we have done the layout for this sea tunnel that we are going to make here. So we just need to connect it to this side right over here of this land. So basically, of course, it will go through this watershed over here, which is later on we are also going to clear out the insides of the tunnel that leads towards to our stable down there. And I hope the horses will fit on the tunnel that we are going to make here, right? But of course, well, this is the journey going down here. So well, I guess it's time to place some paths, an actual path going down here, and let's do it. Well, I'm trying to test this road with our skelly horse, but apparently he's not that reactive with our pathway. Well, I thought he will gonna stay down when he's in waters. Well, let me try this again. Yep, going up is working pretty fine. And well, another water clearing operations, but at least this is much easier compared to what we have done previously. And yes, well, let's just clear out this water anyway. We're now actually pretty done with the tunnel, so let's test this with a full run with a live horse. So let's get ready and go. So basically, yeah, somehow I cannot see my way going there though. And I know this is pretty tight, but I guess it's fine because, well, yeah. I was bumping to those glasses, but we have no other choice, I guess. But I think it's fine. Well, it's not that smooth, but it does pretty well. Well, let's try this one. And yeah, I think going up is much easier. Well, that's the full run. So far, I guess it's a 4 out of 5. Well, I guess it's better much to start using some conduits because we are gonna work more under the sea. So basically, I just purchased some Nautilus from Nova here in the shopping district. But anyway, so well, this is my first time to use a conduit, and let's try it, right? And there you have it. So basically, this is just gonna be temporary for the meantime, so at least we can work easily around here. Well, first thing that we have to do is to replace this gravel with some sand. Well, I guess it will look prettier if we have those sand instead of this gravel. And yes, let's do it, and let's see how this will go. And yes, this sand is way better compared to what we have earlier, because we have so much gray in this city. So that's why we're trying to build these corals. Well, this is actually the first time that I'm going to use corals in our builds. Well, previously I'm not totally fan of colorful stuff, but I guess it's much better to have it now because we have so much gray. We need some more colors, we need some more vibrance in our builds. So well, that's why I'm having this coral builds. Well, I hope we can imitate whatever we have on those pre-generated terrains, right? So let's try here. Maybe we should grab some temporary blocks. Let me grab some maybe dirt or well, I don't have any dirt here. Maybe we can use some of these stones. Yeah. So basically, we're trying to make some diagonal formation, so at least it will look prettier and nicer, I think, because if we're gonna do some angled, it will look much thicker. Compared to if we're going to have like this diagonal formation. So at least somehow it will look better. I hope so. But of course, this is just an experiment, and later on, most probably I'm gonna try some more designs of these corals. But I know these are pretty random. But of course, well, somehow the look has to be consistent. You know me, right? I always like consistencies and differences, those balance. Well, basically, yeah, this looks still pretty odd. Of course, later on, we are also going to add some fans, coral fans, and other of those smaller stuff. But yeah, so let me try doing this and I'll be back. Basically, we already have done a lot of corals in our build, but apparently we lack more of the smaller corals and oh, a trench. So well, I haven't gathered much of these earlier. So basically, this is what we're lacking in order to have the same feel on these coral biomes. In order to copy this in our base. So better much, of course, we need to gather more of these and as well as these typical, so at least we can lighten up the surrounding areas and it will be more vibrant and more visible. But yes, I guess this is the best way in order to improve our build, and let's see how it will go. Well, I actually thought that I did some clips while doing this coral reef right over here, but we're actually pretty done. Yeah, maybe we could add some more grass right over here to make it look denser. So, well, this looks pretty fine, right? I mean, I like what we have done here, even if it is, not really that big area. And so far, here's how it looks like. Well, I totally like this. I'm totally satisfied on what we have done here so far. Well, yes. So at least we're done here. So now it's time to move on our next project in the Nether. And so far, here's what we have accomplished here in the Nether. Well, after the live stream of Astro last weekend. So basically, we just need to decorate this. So far, well, I did some off-cam stuff because there are some parts that left undone for at least for the digging activities. So now, well, the first thing that we have to do is the flooring. So I'm thinking that we should place some lighting first, so at least we can know the outline of the path that we are going to make. So well, let's place these sea lanterns and let's see how this will go. And so far, here's what we have here. Basically, I'm still struggling on what we are gonna do here. So that's why I got this bunch of resources right over here. So basically, of course, we are going to use some of these leaves right over here with different variants. And as well as we are also going to use dark prismarine and some black concrete. And as well as this is not included in our materials. Basically, those are the stuff what we have dug here. And this shulker is empty. Why did I bring it here though? This is not, of course, necessary, right? Of course, we got some stones, we got some terracottas right over here, and as well as some wood, and as well as some of these glasses. Of course, well, I still don't know what to do here. Basically, of course, we have to make it somehow randomized, but on the floor, we are going to use dark prismarine and some stones on the sides, and on the walls, it's gonna be something like black concrete with some pile of woods that will represent as trunks, and of course on the top we are going to have leaves. So basically that's the plan. So let's initiate building this. Well, I guess I did plan very poorly for this build because I have to do this adjustment. Well, I did some counting, but apparently my counting was wrong. So, well, I guess we have to do this, especially that. Well, this is gonna look tighter once we already have placed the blocks on the sides, on the walls, and as well as on the top. And so far, here's what we have here. So basically, I placed some green terracottas on the top because leaves are transparent, right? And on the side, of course, we already have done this earlier. So, well, I did a sample right over here because I'm totally struggling on what to do. So I think this is good enough. So what we need to do is just to copy this design all throughout, but randomized. Of course, we have to randomize those leaves so at least it will look more natural, right? So basically, we have to place some woods and some black concrete on the sides, and let's do it. And now we're done with the walls. So basically, also these woods are pretty randomized somehow, right? But I guess this will turn out good, especially once we already have placed these leaves on the ceiling. Of course, well, I hope this will turn out really good. Maybe I could also add some glowstone later on and some maybe some roses because we also need some contrast of color around here. So at least it will not be totally like, you know, pretty plain or something like redundant or boring. But basically, of course, we're almost done for this build, and well, let's just get through this, right? And so far, we have reached the end point right over here. So basically, this is the end of our nether portal for the meantime. And of course, well, here's what we have here. Well, I'm not totally satisfied with it because it looks pretty tight than what I expected, though. And of course, I also have to make this spawn proof. I have to think of that. Well, yeah, so the last thing that I almost forgot to do is the actual nether portal area right over here. But basically, maybe I'm just gonna do something like a void. Well, of course, we also gonna continue the path right over here, but on the sides I'm gonna put some black concrete because I'm pretty tired to do more builds for this episode. But anyway, so let's finish this. And well, I guess this looks even better though. It looks pretty mystical, right? I mean, it looks even better. Well, well, somehow it has the suspense. When you go up here, it will look pretty amazing, right? It looks awesome. I think I better like that one. Well, at least, well, this zombie pigman, I have to get rid of this guys though. But anyways, of course, I also need to make this spawn proof, so at least we can avoid those guys. So pretty much, well, I'm not 100% satisfied with our build here in the Nether, but this is fine. This is fine, I guess. Well, so I guess we're done here. We're done for this episode. So, well, thank you for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a comment, please leave a like, and make sure to subscribe. This has been mikeyperion, and I'll see you guys next time.